Assalamu alaikum. Hello everyone. We are the Echo Programmers team from the United Arab Emirates, and today we will be presenting our project for this year's Datathon, specifically in SDG 4 Quality of Education. Access to quality of education enables individuals to break the cycle of poverty. Education serves as a means to diminish disparities and promote gender parity. However, in our world today, the education-related targets of the 2030 Agenda are significantly off track, with the world going through profound changes in education. Therefore, our team came up with a various solution on how we can combat these issues today. We decided to step out of the box and combine other problems that are related to education, such as literacy, digital connectivity, educational completion, climate change, and UAE's initiative towards education. Moving on to Muthanna, who will talk about literacy in education.
To the topic of literacy. Here we can see world map of literacy rates by country indicated by color. Unfortunately, not all of the citizens of Earth have the luxury of a proper education with high qualities, and some regions on Earth have it worse than others. Certain countries have very low literacy rates, which is a big issue facing quality education and the fourth SDG. If we are to tackle the issue of the quality of education and lifelong education globally, we must first solve the issue of illiteracy. Here are our suggestions for some possible solutions. But we must first establish that any solutions that go to achieve global literacy are not for children alone. These solutions should be implemented to everybody, both child and adult. First, nationwide literacy programs. With the cooperation of the governments, nationwide programs that promote and enhance literacy to everybody being employed are very critical. Secondly, it's important to teach illiterate people their native languages first. Students must see the benefit of their efforts to know that is doing something, and encourage them to continue further. Being able to read isn't all of the goal. The students must also be able to comprehend and understand their material fully, and translate materials into their languages, instead of teaching them other languages so that they can consume different resources and materials. In countries with more than one common language though, a different solution might be needed. There are countries with tens or even hundreds of local languages. It wouldn't be practical to teach using one language that only a percentage of the people consider native. In these certain situations, we think that solving the language barrier with a different language might be the solution, such as using English or French as a language bridge that everybody can communicate in the same community.
Now for the topic of digital connectivity. The COVID-19 pandemic highlights how poorly prepared least developed countries are when it comes to digital connectivity. Lack of connectivity within the realms of the people and business in least developed countries could not afford to have access in high-speed network, especially in education. Here we have some data that shows the digital connectivity rate in several regions containing certain countries and percentage of that country being digitally connected. The suggested solution was an app called Adapted, which has features that are helpful in education, such as but not limited to remote learning support, interactive learning tools, customization for diverse learning styles, and so on. This app can be distributed in many forms to be used both online and offline, with the offline version still being functional but have less powerful features.
Here we see a map of the world showing the completion rate of lower secondary education indicated by color. While we promote education and its quality, we need to make sure that more people are actually succeeding and passing through the education systems. We need to ensure that education completion rate is high and that as many people complete their education. Here are a few of our suggestions. Ensuring all education materials are available, ensure a quality standard nationwide, ensure that no area of the country is too far from a school, ensure that citizens with disabilities have accessible resources, ensure that all citizens have access to internet and online resources, ensure that all children aren't left behind and that they are receive education, ensure that all citizens are literate and that everybody can read and write.
The last topic related to education quality is climate change, which affects this sector more than one might think. The effects of climate on education attainment can take many different forms. Severe weather conditions like tropical cyclones have the potential to demolish or damage school structures. or they could shelter those who have been forced from their homes. Children are therefore momentarily prevented from attending school, and others may never go back to their education. The severity and frequency of extreme weather events are increasing, and this has a yearly impact on 40 million children's schooling. Here are some global incidents that show this concern. We have Zimbabwe that has severe rainfall, which destroyed almost 18% of the nation's school and impacted about 500,000 students, along with Myanmar, where Cyclone Kumain in 2015 damaged 4,000 schools and destroyed 600. Then, this world map by UNICEF shows the risk level in countries, and almost half of all children worldwide, around 1 billion, live in extremely high risk nations, which affects their education severely. Furthermore, these are some visuals and figures that demonstrate the climate's impact on education attainment. So, what can we do about this? Only 53% of national education curricula worldwide addresses climate change, according to UNESCO. So, some solutions could be like equipping students with the tools and knowledge necessary to adapt and mitigate to the impact of weather conditions, launching region based programs that specifically tackle climate issues, incorporating climate change education curricula, starting fundraisers locally and internationally to provide aid for communities, and making education as adaptable as possible to these extreme weather conditions.
And finally, we will be talking about the United Arab Emirates' contribution to education. The UAE is committed to providing top-notch education through a number of programs. The Ministry of Education put plans into action to raise the bar for education by creating the UAE National Agenda 2021, which aims to create an outstanding system that equips students for challenges of the future. And the UAE emphasizes women's and men's education. So this is the UAE literacy rate from 1975 until 2023. As you can see, it has drastically changed throughout the years. Additionally, the UAE has developed a national strategy for higher education. The UAE is adopting important trends in education, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Here are the solutions that UAE has come up with. Last but not least, we have conducted a survey to get the point of view of the Emirati students, and we have also asked for their feedbacks. Here's our reference list to showcase more of our work. Thank you so much for listening.